Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October 2015 love spread. It's Raina here, and I have some very interesting cards for you. The first card represents your current state of mind, and I got the World card, the last card in the deck, kind of the culmination of everything. And this card also connects to Saturn, and how cool is that? We just saw Saturn go back into Sagittarius, and it is going to be affecting us and grounding us and making us more substantial. And this card kind of connects with it because it's all about having those dreams manifest into the physical, that crystallization. And so you may be feeling quite complete. And that's a great way to be when you're looking for a love relationship. You don't want to feel lack. You don't want to feel insecurity and failure and all those other things that are related to someone who is desperate, somebody who is feeling lonely and feeling like they're not enough as they are and they have to look to somebody else to boost them up. If this card doesn't resonate with you and you do feel those negative emotions, then realize that this is a general reading. It will not apply to everyone in every aspect. You can have a personal reading with me where I use your personal data, the time, the exact time you're born, the date, birthplace, pull up your natal chart, look at that, look at some transits that are occurring, and then couple that with the tarot spread. So you can click on the link below for that. But this is really a nice state of mind for the Sagittarian to be in at the moment. And I think that this is kind of par for the course for us because, yes, I am a Sagittarian. And I think that we are pretty positive overall. And I also think that we tend to look at life from a macro perspective. We tend to see the bigger picture and want to attain things on a higher level. And this is also kind of a spiritual card because it's bringing everything together, the matter and the spirit. And Sagittarius rules the ninth house of philosophy. This is kind of important to us. No matter what kind of Sagittarian you are, chances are you have a philosophy of life and you tend to live it, and you might even try to spread it around to other people and tell them about it. You might be a lifelong seeker and explorer, not only of physical terrain, but of mental and spiritual terrain. And this card kind of goes along with that because it's so expansive. The world, is really quite broad. And so when you go into relationships with this kind of expansive attitude, you're more likely to attract the very person that a Sagittarian needs, which is somebody who is broad minded. And the message from the universe is the Eight of Pentacles, which is kind of a workman's card, a craftsman. It can also relate to any kind of labor of love that you're engaging in. So, some of you who have started new businesses, this might be a time when the message is that that has to take priority and that you really don't have time to date, or you might spread yourself too thin. For other people, it might be looking at a relationship as a labor of love, and maybe you have to really be conscious of it. Sagittarius is a sign of being kind of casual about things, informal, and sometimes that can be taken too far, and we can take people for granted and situations for granted, and you have to put time into a relationship. You can't just assume that if you're with someone, even if you're married or in a long-term committed relationship, you still have to nurture that relationship. And so this card could indicate that you are going to be conscious of that need to exert effort into this. But it could also mean that you have to acknowledge that you don't have time for a relationship and not lead people along and not try to do everything at once. Even if you're longing for a relationship, you have to put your energy on your business so that it can grow. And then you'll have time later on when things kind of catch on by themselves. You won't have to spend so much time nurturing it. Just remember that when you exert energy, you should see some sort of benefit from it, if not instantaneously. So for the advice cards, I got the Queen of Wands and the Emperor card. And the Queen of Wands is talking about being the best side of the fire sign, which is being confident and cheerful, full of enthusiasm, a positive force in the life of other people. And depending upon what has transpired in the past, some of you who have had negative experiences may not be feeling that. And you're kind of, living under a cloud and bringing that into new situations. And it's not going to be very attractive to other people. Now, I did say that the initial card was the world. For those people that are the world and they feel like they have achieved a lot and they feel like they're in a good place, then those people will naturally exhibit the qualities of the Queen of Wands. But I doubt that I'm really reading for those people. I think I'm reading for Sagittarians that have had difficulties in relationships or maybe currently in a difficult relationship. And if that is the case, then you have to be mindful of your aura and how you're presenting yourself. Are you being positive when you approach other people? And the accompanying card, which is an action step to take, is the Emperor card from the Major Arcana and relates to the law and order kind of person. I think it's connected to fire signs, but it totally connects to being very organized and being very grounded in your dealings with other people. And this can mean that you would show restraint and not just jump into any kind of relationship. And part of the problem in the past might have been a tendency towards chaotic relationships. And so this card would be indicating that you have to exhibit more self control and also approach relationships with a sense of order instead of just jumping into things and dealing with it in that sense, in a very impulsive sort of way. The outcome, if you do these things, is the Hermit card, another major arcana card. You have three in this reading, or we do. And this means that October is likely to be a turning point in 2015 when it comes to your love life, because the Hermit card represents looking within versus being influenced by the outside world. And so this indicates kind of this wisdom that is also apparent in the World card. So these are two cards that deal with, and I would say the world is like the outer manifestation of that wisdom, although it's incorporating the spiritual realm as well. There's a kind of a sense of life being holistic with the World card, but the Hermit card is about really being meditative and being soul searching. And so, whether or not it means that you will have a relationship in the month of October and meet that special person, it does indicate that you will be looking within, and this will help you to attract the appropriate partner in the future. Remember that in the month of October, we have the sun going into our 12th house in the last week. So, in the first 3 weeks, the sun will be in the 11th house. And this is a time of meeting a lot of people in not so much a romantic situation, but in more of a social atmosphere. But I think that it's possible that some of you will take this time out and really just get in touch with yourselves. And if you're in a relationship that isn't working out, this is particularly valuable to see if it's worth saving. And I hope you got something from this, Sagittarius. If you want a personalized reading, just click on the link below. I'd love to read for you. Take care. Bye.